Hi guys, my name is Zin and this is Maybe Bonsai. Today I am heading to Nigel's place for him to help me with my ficus to make some decisions. So I'll show you the ficus, what it looks like right now, and we'll see what it looks like afterwards. So this is the ficus. I pruned this back in the summer, but it has grown out again. And there's some decisions to be made, which I am not too sure how to approach. And that's why I'm going over to Nigel's, and hopefully he'll give me some good advice and probably prune the tree at his place. And hopefully whatever advice that we get, it can help beginners like myself when they watch the video. So the first problem I see is that there's different branches coming off the trunk. And there's thick ones and there's thin ones. So I need to make a decision on what to keep and what not to keep. Basically, you can't have branches that are thick up top and then you have thinner ones at the bottom. So while this one is thick over here and these ones matches, but there's all these other branches that are much thinner. And you could choose to keep the thinner ones and get rid of the thick ones, or you can do it the other way around. I'm just not sure exactly what's better at this point of the tree's life. So that's problem number one. Problem number two is the apex, because I cut the trunk off at the top. So now, and then I cut it again here. So now it's got movement, but it also doesn't really continue the straight or the straight-ish line of the trunk. So I'm not sure if I made a mistake by doing that or not, because now I basically kind of have to create an apex around this area or something. I'm not exactly sure. So that's something that needs to be sorted out, and hopefully I'll get some advice from Nigel to do that. The other decision is the lower branch here, the really thick one, and I don't know if I should get rid of that or not. I could choose to actually cut this entire top off and just use this as a new leader if I wanted to, but that seems a bit drastic, and I don't want to just do that. So yeah, this tree is it's about a year old, I think. Last year it was as thin as this branch here, and you can see how much has grown in this more or less big pot for this tree. I have other ficuses that are in smaller pots and they're not as big as this. Okay, so those are the problems that I'm trying to address, and I'm really hoping that whatever advice that we get, it's going to help people that has the same issue, or they have trees in the same kind of the stage of development, so that they can really get some insight on what to do here. I'm at Nigel's house and in the Bonsai Zone. This is the ficus, and we're going to start working on it. I know what I want, so here we go. All right, so okay. We decided the tree is going to be about this big.
Yeah.
And everything under here, is that what we said? Or under?
Yeah, I think that was going to be our lowest branch, this one.
Okay.
So everything else can be taken off.
Okay.
Which is pretty major.
Yeah. Am I doing this too? The big one at the bottom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you wanted a twin trunk.
No. I don't know.
You could do that. You can have two trunks coming up to form the umbrella canopy, but it's up to you.
Okay.
If you want to keep it, you keep it. If you want a single trunk.
I'll give her the small ones first, and then we'll go from there.
Decide. That's a good idea.
We'll just take it one step at a time.
One thing I've noticed is the ficus, when they're up in the cool greenhouse here, they don't bleed as much.
Oh yeah?
In the higher temperatures, you cut a branch off and they just bleed like crazy.
Okay, that's going. And now we said this has got to go too, right?
Yeah, that one.
Is this gonna?
So you do a rough cut and then you can clean that up, eh? Heard the rooster. that's good. That'll heal easily.
Yeah.
Because you imagine this trunk will be twice the thickness in
Yeah.
5 years. Hopefully.
I mean, from the rate of growth that I've seen,
Yeah,
it might double in next year.
I know. They're tremendous growers. When conditions are right, you can almost watch them grow.
Yeah, I guess. Does it grow as fast when it gets bigger? Because mine started with this little thing, but then it got like triple the size, but that will slow down as it goes, right?
If you give the roots room to go,
Oh, it'll do that.
it'll just keep going. The only thing that slows them down is the size of the pot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that cleans all that stuff up. This
Yeah.
everything else I'm keeping.
Yeah.
The bottom. I guess it is too low. I mean the root.
Yeah.
The root's right there, right? Okay, so.
I personally would get rid of it.
All right. I'll unwind this wire first. I'm just pushing that branch down, nothing else. Okay. Let me just-
Because you have to imagine the trunk all with aerial roots coming down it and envision grand visions for the future.
Yeah.
You tell the tree, I have high hopes for you. Goes.
There it goes. The wood is quite soft.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna use this for the bigger one.
Okay. I have a bigger pruner too if you need it.
Now, am I making like a slanted cut to make it more smooth?
Yeah,
is that what
I
I'm
would
trying to do?
try and. Yeah. Do you want the bigger pruners or
This
that's working? That's a big
Mul-
cut.
multiple cut.
As Colin would say, chop it. That's good. That it'll
Should
it'll thicken up and heal really nicely there.
I was just looking at this because it's kind of bulging up,
Oh,
so
okay.
like make
To
it.
trim it back a little
yeah.
more. Okay.
That's
yeah.
what you do, right? Okay.
It probably won't matter too much in the future because
Yeah, just,
that'll just thicken and flare and thicken at the same time. Now the next step, what I would do is see this leaf here.
yeah.
So that was the leaf coming off the trunk, and then the branch came off.
I
The
see.
dormant leaf bud became a branch.
Okay.
So I usually remove all these old leaves
Yeah.
just to clean it up so you see what's going on. I don't know if you have any
I'm gonna
more.
Get rid of this thing.
Yeah, I'd get rid of that little shoot. And I would clean this stub up here.
Yeah.
You kind of got one sticking out.
Yeah, that was from last pruning.
When was that? Do you know? Like,
It was just after I came here.
okay, so just this summer. That was.
Yeah, few
That was-
few months ago.
When was that? That was like mid to late summer, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was late
August.
summer, August-ish, I think.
Yeah.
So
So it's done well. Holy.
yeah.
Okay, so that there's another dormant leaf here that could be
yeah.
removed.
I'm just gonna clean this up first.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
another.
And then I would say the tip of this branch, I like the direction. It's coming radial off the trunk.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See how, it's not on some weird angle.
Right.
And I would just trim the tip off, and you're going to get, all these sub branches will start forming.
Yeah. So let this one keep getting longer.
Yeah, thicken up.
Okay.
But you want to start getting a bit of branching, so I
Right.
would just take the very tip off.
Okay. So there's very tender leaves here.
Yeah. Yeah, just like that.
I'll just leave that.
And it'll
Yeah.
divide from 1 to 2, and you'll
Okay.
eventually get a bit more surface area for your leaves. Yeah, there's another one that can go. So that's your lowest branch, is it?
Yes. Actually,
Or
this
that
one's the
one,
lowest.
okay.
This is the
Let's have a
lowest.
look at that one now. So the radial direction is here, and you've got it splaying each side of it. So I would generally keep that division,
Yeah.
because if you prune off
sorry.
this one, the branch is kind of skewered. It's not coming off in a radial pattern off your trunk,
Right.
which for your primary branch structure, you want them fairly radial, because that's what you're going to see eventually, is those branches, this thick kind of things.
Yeah.
So you've got it, it comes radial and then divides into two. So I would redirect this, I like this branch here, and I would probably
Take that whole thing
prune
out,
that
right?
one off.
Yeah.
Always leaving a bit of a stub.
Okay. So basically that goes off, and then we'll take this as the new direction.
The new leader for that branch, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then I'll take this off for first. This is the,
Sure, yeah.
the leaf.
Because otherwise, you know, it's just going to grow in the shade of one of the,
Yeah.
you want everything to have
yeah.
its spot in the sun. Yeah, right about there. Perfect.
Lots of cuts.
Yeah, yeah.
Lots of reductions.
So we've got to look at the other side of it now.
Okay.
So again, it's kind of getting a bit skewered over this way.
Right.
So you're going to want to try and direct the branch more in the radial pattern, which there isn't a whole lot that direction, is there?
I couldn't wire it.
You could.
in my house, in the maybe Bonsai Zone itself, we
That's
do
cheating,
wires.
isn't it? You could. Like this upper branch isn't too bad. Like it's
This one, right?
yeah, it's not too bad. I would keep both of them. I would just shorten it a bit. I would just take the tip off it.
So maybe take that. Take it
No,
off here. Or more
I
back.
would just take it off here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Right there.
I would just take the very tip
Just
off.
the tip. Okay.
And I would leave the bottom one. It's a little weaker.
Okay.
And I think that's good. You'll eventually get something shooting out in this direction.
And then this will probably eventually go, I would think, wouldn't it? Because it was going downwards, and eventually it'll just. I guess it depends where it might still come up. It does fill the space, between the two branches.
Yeah. We'll
Okay,
see.
well, yeah.
It's that'd be a future decision.
Okay.
I'd keep it on for now. So
Um,
then we'll go up to the next tier or the next branch,
The next branch,
which is
this one we worked on this.
yeah. So it's that
So
other one there.
This one
Yeah.
here.
So that one you've got this branch. This part of it is directly above the other branch here. So I don't think you need that one because it's
Right,
not
'cause
very radial either.
Because we're keeping this one. That's
Yeah.
going to shade it out anyway, right?
Yeah. So I'd take that lower part of that branch off. Yeah.
All right, this is another big part of the tree.
Perfect. And then you can see this one, this branch leader is fairly radial coming off the trunk. It's skewered a little bit, but not much.
Yeah.
So again, I would look, you've got a branch here that's coming in a better direction.
Yeah.
So you could prune it right there.
Right. So it comes more. This
Yeah.
is more of the radial direction of from
Yes,
the trunk anyway.
Exactly.
Leave it stuck there.
And then the other half of it over here, again, you're going to want it a little more radial. So that one on the
This
inside can come off
yeah,
for
'cause
sure.
it's coming towards the other one.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then the rest of that one, this one is kind of close to the right direction, but over here would be a little better. But this one's not bad. I would take it off here then and keep this one.
Okay. Yeah, that's more of the.
Yeah.
So that'll go. This whole thing will go.
That'll get that branch. And then I would just take the tip off there, and that one I'd leave. It's a little weaker. Always trying to balance your branches
Yeah.
for equal vigor.
So this one stays. That's cut.
Yeah, I think that's
Let's get rid of this.
good for that one, right?
Yeah.
So then the one out the back there is next, this one right here.
Okay.
So you've got
Pruning stuff.
a fairly upright one and then one that's more horizontal. And generally up in the apex of the crown like that, I like them to be more upright.
Yeah.
You could keep that horizontal one, but you'd have to prune it off short. It's
It's not a really.
I would
good
actually
direction,
take it,
right?
I would actually take it right out.
Yeah. And just keep the.
Keep developing the upper part.
Okay.
Yeah.
So without the that's okay. I think it's okay.
I mean, it's not the worst. You could prune it off shorter to that first note if you wanted, but
Yeah, I mean, if I go here, it's gonna go that way,
yeah.
which
And you're probably better to put the
Yeah.
vigor into this upper one.
yeah, okay. So I'll take that whole thing
Take
off.
it off, yeah. I would. There you go. cut coming up.
Oh, we're in the bonsai zone, so
Oh, yeah,
it's all
I
big
know.
cuts.
I know.
Okay.
So that's looking good. And then we just have the upright,
This
your apex,
the
or-
main. Yeah, this is the.
which, you know, you want to develop all these equally. So I would, because it's so vigorous, you're going to want to prune it back fairly hard.
Right.
I would keep this part of it because it's in a nice direction. I would take that part off, and then we'll shorten this,
Okay.
and that inner one can come off too.
Okay. So basically, that's gone.
Yeah, if you agree.
Yeah. No,
That
I think
keeps
it's
it a nice radial direction.
Yeah, because this is more of the direction where it shoots out in a way.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, okay.
And then you're going to want to shorten that because it's too vigorous.
Now by how much?
I would go to that downward facing bud.
Oh, this
So
here.
just in front of that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should I remove the
Sure,
leaf here?
Yeah. And then that branch on the inside, I think that has to go too.
This here?
No, sorry, this little one here.
Okay. Oh yeah, this is going.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the only other thing I see is this looks still a little long. I would prune this branch back to just to there, I guess. Just take the tip off. Kind of balance it.
Yeah. I mean, this is a new shoot here.
Oh, is there? Okay.
This is another new one that's going in the same direction.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get rid of this leaf.
Okay.
Just a little small.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I don't know.
a bit straight now, but I can always prune it later on when it gets bigger.
It'll get more branches coming.
Yeah.
Well, I think the tree's looking pretty good now.
That we said this one will stay, right?
It could go.
It could.
I would actually. I would take
I'll
it
take
off.
this. I'll take this off first.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pointing more upwards.
Yeah, which isn't bad if all the others. You got to develop all them. You know, you don't want the only one up vertical, or otherwise
Right.
it'll thicken up too much.
Okay,
So you kind of want to grow them equally.
so I'm gonna get rid of it then.
Yeah, I think I would at this point in time.
Yeah.
Take it off. Just like that. And I think that's pretty good. You could remove that inner branch here. There's one just
Right.
sticking up there. So that's developing that. And that's it. That's it. It's done. I think. Maybe get rid of this upper shoot here. It's done then.
Almost done.
I do that all the time. And there's a leaf there too sticking up that you can,
Oh, this.
older leaf, yeah. Now, that's it,
Yeah,
I think.
this. I guess we cut that off, so this will go. Yeah. Okay.
Definitely looks more like a broom style tree now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Now you gotta find your front and mark it.
Front.
So you gotta put a little marker. I think I have something I can stick in there.
Front. I guess you will want the. I guess in the broom style actually.
You don't want any branches coming directly towards
Right.
you. Generally, they say, you know, your first two branches are arms, like reaching out to hug you.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna.
Which,
But then this is the broom style. It's like everything to the top. There's not really any arms.
no, but yeah, you want a view that kind of, it just looks, you'll find a view where it just kind of looks more balanced than
Okay.
any other view.
So I'll pick a front, and then you pick a front. And we'll see if they're the
Okay,
same.
yeah, that sounds
We'll
good.
see if they're the same or not.
I can see maybe someday, maybe removing that branch there.
Yeah,
As this
that
one
was
thickens
one
up.
of my.
It's
Because
a
it's
little, it's a little funny, a little straight looking, and it doesn't really flow outwards like the rest of them, does it?
Yeah.
But it could change in the future too. But I can see that. It kind of, it sticks out to me as a potential problem for the future.
Yeah.
It's something to keep in mind, that maybe that can come off as it strengthens up top. And you may get a nicer branch coming out somewhere that you can develop later on.
Now, should I take that now or leave it till later?
Does it bug you?
It did. When the tree was full, to be honest, it was bothering me because this is the trunk and it just stops here.
Yeah.
And where these two branches are much closer, they're more like spreading out. So
Yeah.
that made more sense to me, which is part of the reason why I came here, because I wasn't too sure what to do with
Yeah.
this. But now that you said it,
If you
I
prune
kind of
it,
want to do the same thing.
if you prune it, you're going to get a bare spot in the canopy there.
Yeah,
It kind of fills that space.
right. This
I
space
would
here.
actually leave it for now.
Leave it for now, eh?
Yeah,
Okay.
and just keep that in mind that that's a thing that you've got to correct sometime in the future.
Yeah.
And hopefully you get a better branch growing in somewhere that you can do that. I think you will. Okay, so you got to pick your front.
Yeah. I got two out.
Okay. I don't have a marker to write Zen or Nigel on it, but that's a good exercise to pick the front and see what you like. So that's another thing. When you pick the front, you may be able to find a front where this branch doesn't look quite as awkward either.
Oh,
Where it kind of...
you know what? You might mind that branch is already gone, because eventually in the future it'll be gone. So I don't even think about it now.
You never know. You might change your mind.
Yeah, maybe.
It happens. You go, oh, it's actually looking pretty good now. It makes sense.
I'm thinking either here or basically the opposite side.
Okay.
Or here. I would go here without this branch. Without, I mean, even it's coming. It's, I don't know. Yeah, I
it's
think-
not bad, that branch. It's nice to have that apex kind of come towards you a bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
It kind of zigzags over a bit too close to the other branch, doesn't it? But
Yeah.
that could change. Things could-
Okay, that's my pick for now.
Okay. It's pretty close to mine too. Because, let me have a look. Now, the only thing I would say about this view is that the branches are quite flat onto you.
Yeah.
Everything's left, right. There's nothing forward, nothing backwards much, except
Right,
for
it's 2D, right?
this one. Is very,
Dimensional.
yeah, it's a little two-dimensional. Whereas slightly off in this view, you get a little more depth. But I'm not done yet.
My other pick was like from behind.
Yeah.
From this kind of angle where there's curves with both of these.
So that one's kind of coming towards you a little more.
Right.
I don't like the apex in that view. This one would have to go,
Well,
wouldn't it?
It's
Yeah.
already gone in my mind.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I'm thinking very, very close, like here.
Okay, yeah, you get a more of a 3D
Just-
feel.
A little. It's so close that it doesn't
Yeah.
matter, but somewhere.
Yeah, so this will be the back branch. Front.
Yeah. So when you're filling out these canopies, you just gotta keep in mind when
once-
viewed from above, you want an oval shape.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, so yeah, I do think the tree looks a lot better now, like without all these distracting branches.
I think it's got a style to it now, doesn't it? It's
Yeah.
something, as I always say, it's something you can build on. You've
It,
got,
it looks more like a tree now.
yeah, you got and a tropical tree too, right?
Yeah. So I'll just leave that as a heel, so like it'll
Yeah.
just smooth over, I guess.
Now you could put some sphagnum moss around there.
Oh,
and you
to
might
get,
get some roots
some
coming
roots.
down,
Yeah.
which is probably a good idea.
To
You
make
could
the-
actually wrap the whole trunk if you wanted to get roots,
Go for area
and
roots,
you're
right?
going to get some really nice braiding. You don't want it too far from the trunk. Like
Yeah.
you don't want to put sphagnum moss out to here,
Right.
but you could wrap it around and put some plastic saran wrap around, and
Yeah.
so you can still water it from above. And then you'll get all these roots growing, and then instead of a simple trunk, if you want that style,
Yeah.
you'll get all these roots that'll just thicken up and give the trunk all kinds of cool texture.
Right. I'm thinking
But-
eventually I will do that.
Yeah, but
I'll let it get bigger, like
Yeah.
a little bit bigger, and then
there's
I'll,
no... The problem, like a lot of people, if you've got a young tree, let's say, are you recording or?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Just move this.
Sorry, sorry. if you have a young tree and it drops an aerial root down, by the time the tree matures, that aerial root's going to be really thick.
Right.
So it's better for aerial roots to wait later on in the tree when you're kind of entering the refinement stage, and then you get the thin aerial roots,
Right.
which looks more in scale with like a full-size tree.
Yeah.
If you get them too thick, they become the size of the trunk, and then
Yeah.
there's no distinction between the tree's trunk and the aerial roots. They all thicken up equally, and I see that in a lot of trees
Okay.
where the aerial roots are being developed too early, and they're just too thick. They're the size of the branches, and there's just no contrast between
Right.
thick trunk and thin aerial roots.
So then, does that mean eventually this will go? Because this
No,
might-
because that's
you don't think that will?
that's going to flare into the soil. So the
Okay.
thicker that gets, the better,
Okay.
because you want this buttress root base.
Does that also mean that once you start having aerial roots, at some point you have to,
Cut them off,
Yeah.
probably.
because they're getting too thick, right?
They'll get too thick.
Okay. Okay, that'll be years down the road for me. So.
Unless, like, in nature, it'll
Well,
drop and then the tree spreads out and gets bigger and bigger, and it becomes like a whole forest, and the aerial roots turn into trunks, and
Well,
it's a whole process.
that's something else. Yeah.
But, yeah, on a bonsai, not everyone's got the space to grow something like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, well, I think it's looking good.
Yeah. Well, I'm back at home now. This is the next day now. Yesterday I was really tired. The ficus I have here on the bench with the markers still there. I'm gonna leave it there, and so I know where to pot it next time. And I'm shining the light up top here. The light, I actually just moved it away. It's right here. Hopefully I could get some branches in this area, because this, in my mind, it's gonna go eventually. I kind of wanted to remove this before, but he said just leave it for now, which is fine. So hopefully I'll get something there, and we can get something better than this, so I can take that off. As a last note, that I want to thank Nigel for having me over and for the advice for the help on the tree. It is looking a lot better now. I really like it, so thank you for having me over, and thanks for helping me with the tree. And I guess that's it for now. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and and all the advice that Nigel have given me. Hopefully it has helped you guys as much as myself. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.